Okay. Hi, I'm Chris Griffiths, Comcast. I'm going to talk briefly about what our work on DNSSEC is and what we've been focused on. So last time I spoke at NANOG 51, we were kind of talked through, specifically we were doing about 5% of our DNS traffic was actually performing validation. Oh. Thank you. Cool. Thanks. So we're doing about 5% validation, and this is all of our residential and commercial subscribers. We also had a couple hundred zones that we were managing and doing key rollovers for. We are now doing roughly 25% of our footprint is now performing validation. That's a pretty significant number, and we're continuing to ratchet that up over the next couple months. The other thing, and I think Matt just pointed out, so we're actually now signing several thousand zones. So we've been doing a significant number of our authoritative zones doing DNSSEC signing. That's taken a lot of operational time and process to build over the last few years, but we're now basically doing this in real scale. The other thing is we've worked with our registrar to actually automate the process. That was actually one of the big significant timing issues for getting all of our zones signed and getting things completed. So we've actually spent a considerable amount of time automating that process so we can now sign much faster and actually get the many thousands of zones that we manage DNSSEC enabled. So wanted to put a little example of what we've been doing on our, and you can actually go to the NOG lab, which we actually have over in the next room. But this actually shows one of our Anycast resolvers that we have deployed on our network, and it actually shows one of our top domains, xfinititv.com. So this is actually one of the production domains that actually service a lot of our customers for specific TV services. And this is now a signed zone. It's actually fully validated, and we set the AD bit, and everything looks as it should. But this is actually what you're seeing in production now. So another thing we've been focused on as well, you may have heard that we've been involved in some of the IPv6 items over the last few years as well. So one of the things we just recently launched is our IPv6 Anycast resolvers as well. So these are now available for our customers that as we ratchet up our trials and eventual deployment for IPv6 for our customers, we'll be deploying these specific Anycast resolvers to our customers as well. These are also validating resolvers, so whether you're using IPv4 or IPv6 as a dual stack environment, you'll be getting DNSSEC validation. So essentially also we've dual stacked and enabled glue for all of our domains specific to resolution. So as you're doing dual stack lookups over v6, you're also able to validate against the glue records as well. So just had an example up here specific to Comcast.net, but as you can see, we have the quad A records and everything's enabled within that zone. So again, wanted to point out also, you can actually, and you can go to the NOG lab and actually test this directly because that lab is actually sitting off of one of our production drops. But essentially, you can do dig directly against our Anycast IPv6 resolvers against the same domain, xfinititv.com, and essentially validate that zone, and it just works. So briefly, I would just kind of point the fact that we are doing this at scale. So we have 17 million plus subscribers, and we're able to not only do validation, and we've taken a lot of time and effort to do this, but also I would recommend certainly if you're large, medium, or small ISP, you should definitely be taking a look at doing validation and possibly signing your domains as well. It's good for everybody. So thank you.
Any questions for Chris? Peter.
Peter Losher, ISC. So just to check, so if I type, say, www.comcast.net, I should be able to get validate. If I'm running a validating resolver, I should be able to get a response.
So Comcast.net, that's one of our really high-level domains, so we're still in the process of signing those, but I expect to have those signed very soon. So.
Okay. Because I tried like Xfinity.com, which redirects to Xfinity.comcast.com or net or whatever. Okay.
Yep. We have some of the very high-value domains. We're still in the process of making sure that we get that process correct, but again, I would expect very soon that those will be signed.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Are there any sort of DNSSEC related help desk stories you can share with us?
Yeah.
You don't have to get specific, but did you notice anything or?
Well, certainly, especially on the validation side, I mean, there are certainly some top-level domains that have not spent nearly enough time with their operational processes that they probably should have. So we have seen some breakage specific to domains, so we actually have had to disable validation specific for those subdomains within them. So we've automated a lot of that process, but again, it's few and far between, but we do see it. It basically, we just have to disable validation and notify those folks to fix their domains. And
do you find that it's easy or difficult to identify DNSSEC as the cause?
I think it's more associated to the management of the specific domains, whether it be key management or record management. So I think it's just DNS administration more than specific DNSSEC type items. Yep.
So Peter Lusher again. A two-parter. First off, just as a matter of course, do your recursive servers or caching servers both allow EDNS0 and allow up to 4K byte responses on UDP and TCP?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So have you, as part of your deployment schedule, have you sort of informed your customer service teams or whether it be business or consumer about the fact that their DNS servers may not be able to resolve Comcast.net or Comcast.com because all of a sudden their responses are bigger because you're including the DNSSEC signatures?
Yes, so we've actually spent a considerable amount of time actually detailing a lot of the different customer care and other type of things. Probably the last couple of years we've spent, informing, and writing up, how to troubleshoot and deal with these things, so that it's, hopefully not a surprise when items come up.
It still will be a surprise to a lot of people, believe me.
I'm sure. Yes. All right.